Yo, I'm hurt. I'm sorry. I'm laughing, but I'm crying inside, y'all. What's good? How y'all feeling? Good morning. I had to do this before I go to work. Shout out to Matt Bonner. You know what I mean? The motivation, the guru. But my feelings is hurt, y'all. Oh, wait a minute. Now we go. I want to get this off my chest. For Scottie to say that Matt Bonner was his motivation for that epic performance, that signature, that season signature performance that we wanted from him. That shit hurt my feelings a little bit. I ain't gonna even hold you. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. It hurt my feelings a little bit. I've been dropping 5 mics for the last couple of, back to back to back, golden material, 5 mic material. You trying to tell me the God ain't motivate you a little bit? Like you ain't here to run. You ain't see the mountain shivering. You know what I mean? You ain't hear the ground shaking. You gotta, man, listen. You know damn well wasn't no Matt Barnes, that fucking Matt Bonner. Matt Bonner motivated you, my nigga? You crazy? That it sounds great, right? Because he did it and it's okay. What about me? What about the golden vernacular that I did? Did you hear me lay it down flat these last couple days? You try to tell me that funky little he need to have a bag. That motivated you? Bitch, you better stop lying to me. Don't you lie. Listen, I know a lie when I hear one. You ain't gonna lie to my face, Scottie. You know who the vibe is. You know who put that battery in your back again. You talk about Matt. I've been laying down bars for the last 2-3 days. You crazy? You gonna say Matt Bonner? You listen. We got a song. You're not gonna do that to me, baby. My love. Don't do that to me, my heart. You guys, nah, B. I don't know what the rules are for shouting people out. Matt Bonner was your was your muse? Matt Bonner was your muse? And he needs to have a bag. He can't go by we talk about Matt Bonner, a 6'10" set shooter. All he ever did was stand there and wait for Ginobili to give him the rock. He never had a bag. If you're looking at this picture, look at his left hand. Anybody that goes off the dribble whose left hand looks like that needs to be on the bench. Look at the left hand action. That's crazy. Nah, man. How we going? That's crazy. Matt Bonner was your motivation for the 30 against the Sixers, beloved. You got busy. Salute. Like, I ain't even mad. That I'm gonna stay applying pressure. And he dropped 33 with Tyrese Maxey, who seemed like he was a little off, like he was in his fears. Something ain't going right with Tyrese Maxey. PG-13, the podcaster. Joel Embiid trying to make he's trying to gain some momentum, doing his dirty bird shit. And we got the win. And you gonna say Matt Bonner was your vote? That shit burned me to my soul. I was like, yo, let me see what this is. Matt Bonner? Oh, hell no. Nah. Listen. I've been having fun. And come on, baby, don't do me like that. You got to at least show some love for my junior high school cafeterium comedic talent. Don't do me like that. Show me that there is no way you can say Matt Bonner, the last few days motivated you as much as man, listen. I'm going to don't listen. Boy. Of course I'm playing. I'm having fun with the topic, but listen. Matt, that's all you needed, Scottie, was for Matt Bonner to say that to you? A lot of we've been saying that to you for years, and you needed Matt Bonner to say that. Okay. You do know what he was as a player, right? He had a 12-year career, and he only has 9-minute highlight videos with him standing at the shoulder three, hitting jump shots after Ginobili drew the defense. He won a couple championships, by the way, being a spot-up shooter. You know what I mean? Set shooter for the Spurs. How can a set shooter tell someone they need a bag and they've never had a bag and they don't know what it is to attain and acquire said skill sets, how much time it takes? It's very tedious, Matt. But shout out to Matt Bonaventure. We appreciate you, player. But Jesus Christ, this Scottie, don't do. That's crazy. That's crazy. That motivated Scottie. That shit, I ain't gonna lie, that shit burnt my soul a little bit. I was like, oh shit. He said, Matt, did you see the file, Mike? The ism I've been dropping the past couple days, and you gonna say Matt Bonner? That's nasty. That's nasty. That's like, you know what I mean? That's like saying my words don't hit home, and I know they do. I could tell when they hear it. It just looks different afterwards. The man had a magnificent game. Clearly, something motivated him. He needs to remain motivated. Like I said yesterday, I'm not going to talk about tomorrow or what he should be. We know the truth in his game. We want to see more consistency. We want to see more of these performances. But until then, we're going to have to deal with the highs and lows. And we got to tell the truth about it. We hate the lows as much as we love the highs. We hate the lows. We can't stand them because his low should be an all-star level type of low. His high should be these type of performances against rival opponents and people we think we should beat, as well as other teams that we got somewhat of a gripe with. But to say that he needs a bag, that's a reach. We talked about this last night. I believe Scottie just needs 2 signature moves and get great positioning. Use those moves below the free throw line, and that's it. Like, he's 6'10", 240, 245, strong and powerful. Fight for positioning. Then you can use your handle and your quickness at ground zero as opposed to 25 feet away from the basket where the double team could come and help out. You know what I mean? It's like he doesn't need to have that many layers to his game. You know what I mean? A lion hunts a lot differently than a fox. He doesn't need the same bag that a fox needs. He can use brute strength and power and everything that he's already born with to dominate the prey. The fox needs to be a little more cunning and creative, and some types of prey are off the market because they're too massive. There is nobody that Scottie can't post up and get positioning on and score on. But to say he needs a bag, that's like saying he needs to play smaller. That doesn't benefit us, especially with us having 3 guys now who could attack off the dribble and him trying to keep up with them. Nah, he should play his game. He should do what he has the right combination to continue to have these type of performances or get close to it against anybody. He just gotta he he just gotta figure it out. And he don't have a lot of time. And that's the reality of his situation. But come on, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, I was like, oh, this nigga said Matt Varner. I've been laying. That was only like a 12-second, 15-second little soundbite with no real like real explanation to why would you want Scottie to be that type of player? You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be. In order for us to win, we get players around him, which is what we have that can do that. And he can do what we need him to do. Because if Scottie goes off the dribble too much, we're gonna complain about him not being in the post. That's the next thing everybody's gonna say. He going off the dribble too much. You got to go in the post. He's 6'10". You don't need a bag. You need 2 signature moves when you can get positioning. That's the goal. That's the whole goal. You use your handle and all that crafty footwork to get positioning to get the best shot off. He's 6'10", 245. All he got to do is bump you and move you out the way and step into whatever space he want to be in, and the rest is history. Yeah, Matt Bonner just said he needs a bag and that he can't really go by people and just dumb shit, new wave shit. You would think a veteran would speak a little differently, especially someone who's 6'10" himself. You would rather have him go have his back to the basket a little bit more and post up as opposed to he needs a bigger bag. He can't go by defenders. This coming from a guy who couldn't go by anybody either. So it's just an interesting conversation. You know what I'm saying? It was dope. It was dope, but it I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn, that's what it took to motivate you. Like I said, what about that's crazy? What about me? Like, what if that hurt my feelings? That was a shot. I feel like I'm taking that personal. I grew up during that era. We take everything, but I'm taking that personal. Now I got to dig in my bag and have a lot more fun with it. But how y'all doing this morning? It feels great after it's nothing like having a nice Nice morning after a victory. It's nothing like it. The day after is magnificent. You know what I mean? We got the Cavs tonight. I still don't believe in them at all. I don't believe in the Cavs at all. Whether we win or lose, until the Cavs make a run, I'm never gonna believe they're as dominant as their record dictates or even insinuates. But I like what I saw last night. That was a big win. We got a big win. You know what I mean? I'm just happy. I'm proud of Scottie to do what he got to do, but he's gonna have to keep this up realistically because Bi is coming. Brandon Ingram is on his way. It's gonna take some time before he gets on the court, but we know what to expect from that guy as a scorer, and we know what we're going to get as far as instant gratification. So Scottie's going to have to start producing. You know what I mean? We can't have this fantasy of what he could be anymore. He has to actually be that or be something because I don't think Brandon Ingram is going to wait. He's going to come in here and he's going to take as much as he can. He's leaving here with something. I'm going to tell you that right now. What's good? Yeah, the Cavs are just good during the regular season. Yeah, absolutely right. They got that figured out. They know how to dominate the sub 500 teams and then go 50-50 or 60-40 with the 4 through 6s, and then the 1 2 3s. They'll go they 50-50 those, and then it looks like a magnificent schedule as if they're dominant. But till they do something in the playoffs, I'm never gonna believe it. Yeah, he definitely has to become more consistent. Definitely has to become more consistent. Definitely. That's the hardest thing, to be consistent. You know what I mean? You have to figure out the routine. You have to figure out, what works, what doesn't work, and keep it simple. I think to complicate Scottie's game, which is what everybody keeps trying to do, it takes him away from the gifts that he already has. You can't teach 6'10", 245 with athleticism and leaping ability and enough speed to go from point A to point B closer to the basket as opposed to further away. I don't even like when he goes off the dribble far from at the fucking free throw line. Start below the free throw line. I think he has a better chance of getting to the basket with no conflict or very little. Yeah, OKC is another one. Yeah. Yeah, OKC is another team until they make a deep run. I think that's what's holding, Shea back from getting the MVP. You know what I mean? I think people don't take them seriously at all. They don't take Ja Morant in Memphis seriously either. Like Ja Morant had the similar issue. It's like, the powers that be don't look at it like it's meaningful basketball being played all one because the guard is the face. It's like they're picking and choosing to a certain extent. He should sit courtside if he's the muse, he should sit courtside. That's a good idea. It, but does it hurt him? Does it hurt him from playing his game, playing in the ankle brace? You know what I'm saying? That would be one of those things. Is he comfortable? And they would have to find the right brace to still allow him to be who he is as a player and still protect the ankle. Doesn't Chris Middleton have the same issue? Chris Middleton had to have double surgery on both his ankles. I knew they were gonna let him go. I knew the Milwaukee Bucks were gonna let him go. That's one thing perimeter players need just as much as their needs is really like strong ankles with the stopping goals and the irky jerk and pulling up, and common injuries come to that part of the body. Oh wow. Ja Morant and Kevin Durant would be crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't take any chances either. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't take any chances either. I wouldn't take any just to protect the investment. We need him to be as productive as possible. I think Chris Middleton, his type of game will probably he could end up with the Lakers because you know how that go. If they want to keep LeBron, they got to surround LeBron with certain types of players, and he needs to go someplace where there's not a lot of pressure on him. Going to LA, there would be no pressure on Chris Middleton. He can shoot, he can score, he can rehab. They got great doctors, good atmosphere. I think he would benefit from being out there. I agree. The offense is more, yeah. But remember, the same, like we're starting a lot of young kids who haven't gotten the pro game wrapped around, their psyche yet. Like they still think it's some wonderland that they're a part of, as opposed to just being regular basketball. I think they're in awe of the competition a little too much. We make a lot of mistakes on our own. It's not like the defense is pressuring us. You know what I mean? A lot of it is just psychological. Guys got to get out of their own head and stop being fans and really go out there and just compete, because you don't get to the league being a turnover magnet. You know what I mean? Like, guys who are liabilities like that don't even get out of college. To be drafted in the NBA, you have to be looked at as an asset, which means you don't have as many turnovers as the guy they're not drafting. I think it's just a psychological thing with the players we get. You know what I mean? It's not just, we look good with quickly having the rock. He's comfortable now having the rock. You know what I mean? There were moments when he had issues with turnovers a little bit with New York. Now he's comfortable. Took some time, but I think it's part of the process for us. Now Nick Nurse is done. Yeah, Nick Nurse is done. I'd have no idea where he's going to coach next. I think, like I said during the summer, when they dropped from you know where they were with Doc, you can't keep taking steps back and expect to keep getting coaching opportunities. You know what I mean? He's been trending backwards for years. He might have to go to college. He might have to coach in college and build his resume back up and get out the way for a little bit. Because if he becomes an assistant coach, I don't think he's ever going to come from behind that. At least not for the next 10 years. Yeah, he thought it was sweet going to Philly. He thought it was real sweet. He thought it was real sweet. All of them thought it was sweet. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, the ownership, they thought they were gonna go to the finals. We gonna go further than we did with Doc. Yeah, all right. You're in the worst situation that you could possibly be in. You should have just went and let Sam Cassell coach the team. If you were gonna end up in this position, you should have just let Sam Cassell have the team and figure it out. Now, I don't think anybody wants that job. If somebody does take that job, it's definitely going to be for the money. It ain't going to be to help the Philadelphia 76ers be successful. There's a All right, check this out. There's a difference between getting a ring and being a championship coach. You can catch lightning in a bottle. He caught lightning in a bottle. Right place, right time, right situation, walk right in. Didn't have to do a lot of technical teaching and coaching until after the championship. And we started to see flaws in his coaching acumen. Now we see more flaws in his coaching acumen. He's not as good as we thought he was. He doesn't. There are some details that he loses in the conversation. Most championship coaches have already went through that, and they don't make those mistakes that he's making. He doesn't even see the value in developing the bench or young players. He focuses on the 6 or 7 players that he trusts, and he runs them into the ground. And if they lose, guess what? It's not his fault. He's not holding himself accountable at all. He hasn't he hasn't blamed himself or what he's doing at all. And there's something going on with Tyrese Maxey. He normally plays against us a lot better. We're gonna see though. Yep, Kyle is happy. Should I be happy too? You paying me all this paper? I'm coming off a $90 million contract. Like you said, I'm back at home. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. Of course, yeah, Kyle is in heaven right now. I think the hardest thing to do is to win another one. I think that's what solidifies a coach as a champion. As a champ, like you can be a champion, but to be considered a championship coach, you have to win another one with your style of coaching to be respected. You know what I mean? Pat Riley went through it. Doc is still going through it. Mike Bud is going through it. All these guys that have won Missoula's going through it. Until you get to the second one, you're really not going to be respected as a coach like that among the greats anyway. You're the man among the regulars, but among the great, you're gonna have to chill while they have those big boy conversations. I think last year was the perfect time to get DeMarcus Cousins to pair him up with Scottie to really bring out that darker side. Scottie is too nice, you know what I mean, and bringing on like those type of players is to toughen up Scottie. If you can drop 33 against a rival team, nationally televised game, and you do that off of motivation, not having a bag and not doing anything else other than what you already know how to do. You got 33 and 10, and Joel Embiid was doing dumb shit all game. He accepted that challenge. He overcame that hurdle. He stood his ground, got busy. We won. So it's saying to me, he doesn't need the extra shit that everyone's saying he needs. It comes down to motivation. It comes down to whether he wants to perform or not. Because he's done this before, had a couple bad games. We talk about it, then he steps up and has a nice performance, and we're like, okay. If the problem is motivation, then that's something that's a personal thing. We don't know how to motivate him. We don't know what'll trigger him. He's gonna have to figure that out. You know what I mean? That's why guys go to sports psychologists and go to, check in with Navy SEALs and shit like that to break themselves down mentally to build something else. If it's just mental, it's a lot more dangerous than anything. Because if it's not mechanical, you can fix that. Now the mentality and being motivated that's a lot tougher to deal with. That's a him thing. That's really a him thing. And he's gonna have to figure that out in order to be productive on a consistent basis, how to get out of his own head and motivate. He did this off of motivation, which is crazy. Like anybody that can drop 33 just because they're motivated to, that shows that you already have the ability. You just not tapping in. There's something missing psychologically that's not allowing you to come in and and play this way on a regular basis. I believe it's because he's not taking it personal. He's too nice. He's not taking the losses personal. He's not taking competing against his peer group personal. Everything is just water off a duck's back when it should be taken personal because it's your legacy on the line. Yeah, Philly is done. I don't know. I don't. I think we got enough, man. I think we got enough to take that next step. Like the next step, we got enough to really be a playoff team, and then we'll figure out. I think then we'll figure out what we need according to who's going to be in the way. You know what I mean? We don't know how long the Knicks are going to stay together like that. We don't know how long the Cavs are going to stay together. We don't know how long Boston is going to stay together. We don't know how long the teams that are in our way are going to stay together like they are. You know what I mean? We might not need to add or take away too much. We might just be able to stay the course, make the playoffs, and fill everybody out. Because I think Boston is going to fall off. I think the Cavs are going to fall off. I the biggest thing that I fear is LeBron comes back. If LeBron comes back, he's going to get all the calls in the playoffs. They're going to make sure he get all the calls. They're going to make sure his team gets all the calls, and it's going to be 8-on-5 most of the time than not, at least 7-on-6, and that's going to be tough for teams to overcome, especially in the playoffs. That's why they got them fucking. They're thinking the Lakers are going to make it to the finals. It ain't off of ability. He's 40. They believe the machine is going to support that, and I think the machine is going to support him when he comes back if he comes back to Cleveland. And we're gonna have to play through that. They want to end that storybook. They want a storybook ending with him going to the finals or him having a shot at another title so that they can get paid. Never know. That might be. I think you could find a backup center. We got guys that can play center. You know what I mean? Coming off the bench, we just have to make sure the guy is confident in his abilities. and understands the assignment. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the times now, the kids that you got coming in, they fans. They're more fans than competitors. Like they should be competing but they just enjoy the show a little too much. All right, see, this is an interesting thing, right? That's an interesting take. All right, if we surround Scottie, right, who we think is a big piece for us, a cornerstone piece, with other players who are all stars and superstars in the off season, how much does that show that we believe in his ability? You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't show that we truly believe in the investment if we're saying you need that much help right now. You need to be around superstars, right? In order for you to change mentally. The truth should be he's supposed to be an asset to the players who are lesser and build them up. He's supposed to be making guys better. It can't be guys are coming here to make you better. That's a that makes the investment that we made and the players that we sacrificed, it makes the whole decision look ridiculous. Because the whole thing was we want to surround you with assets to showcase your game and you're going to make them better. And then when you reverse that and say, now we're going to surround you, we're going to surround that, we're going to have you as a help to the assets we already got. They may be on your stature a little bit better. Now you're going to help, they're going to help you and you're going to help them, as opposed to us building around you with guys who are somewhat lesser and younger and you become the leader of the group. It's a lot different. It's like he's being led as opposed to being a leader. And we made we sacrificed a lot and invested a lot for this situation. And to take a step back and be like, well, reverse the situation. I'm not trying to hear that because we gave up some pieces for him. And everybody was confident in those decisions that were being made. You know what I mean? And he got to hold it down. He got the big contract. He's got to live up to it. We can't say now we're gonna put better talent than you are around you. You know what I mean? And that's it's an interesting take. You know what I mean? I hate to see that happen because then it's like, what was all the decisions for? We could have at least kept one of them because now he's still and now he's around a shark, a young player who don't look at him the way we look at him. They want their spot. They want whatever spot they can get, and if it's his spot, so be it. And then what happens? We have that weird conversation of how many assets we can get for Scottie at some point. That could be a conversation if we keep trending in the direction of surrounding him with all-star, superstar players when that wasn't the conversation that initially created the atmosphere that we have today. He was supposed to be a bigger asset to the team than the other guys coming in. He was supposed to make them better. That was what we were sold on. He's going to have a young group. He's going to make them better. They're going to follow his lead. And now people are saying we want to surround him with better talent. He's going to fall to the wayside. He might become comfortable being, the fourth man. He might like being Tito Jackson, RP Tito. He might not mind being a background singer, a background dancer. He might not mind that. But for the investment, he got to be one of the lead singers. He got to be in the front. He can't take no nights off. Ain't no nights off for Scottie. Oh, off-season training? Off-season training? Possibly. That's if guys want to work with him. Or if his trainer wants to bring in those guys because they're all learning each other's weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So do you want to showcase some of those weaknesses to other guys? Or you know what I mean? It's one of them things where it's like he's good the way he is, but he just has to play within himself as opposed to trying to be what the field is because he's not like them at all. He doesn't have the same trials and tribulations that they have because he's bigger, he's strong, he's fast, he's quick. He has enough to leverage to get the results that he wants. But he keeps looking at the field and he's outnumbered by these players who don't have what he has. I don't think he needs to collaborate with any of them. You know what I mean? I think he just needs to understand what works for him and do what works for him. And whatever works for them, that's what works for them. Shaq was Shaq. He didn't try to be David Robinson. He didn't try to be Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon. He just wanted to be Shaq. Give me the ball. I'll play to my strengths. I think Scottie needs to just play to his strengths. I think he's gonna be fine. I don't see Scottie as a number one option. I don't see Scottie as a number one option. He's a he's an all around playmaker. You can't have an all around playmaker be the number one option. And I know a lot of people are gonna say Magic. Magic is a once in a lifetime type of player, and he played at and produced at a different pace. Scottie plays at a particular pace. He might have he's gonna have to have at least one scorer who can score at a faster pace than he does to make sense of what he can't do on the offensive end on certain nights. But he can pass, he can rebound. No matter what, he can grab rebounds and he can pass. The other guy has to score. I think we got it right. I think we got it right as far as the people that we got around him. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah, and I agree with you. I'm not listen. I ain't letting up. I'm not letting up at all. I don't think any of us should let up. He's our all star. They wanted to build around him. He got to live up to those expectations, and we need to see the results on a regular basis. But we are not gonna you know be too strict as of yet because it's not money time yet. So he got a free season. Next season it's gonna be a lot tougher for him because we're gonna have expectations. And he listen, the tide could shift really quick. That's perfect. A complimentary all defensive. That's perfect. Those guys don't really get those guys don't get appreciated the way we've been appreciated. They don't end up on a pedestal, but they are very important to a team. If his ego can take that, we're good. If that's part of his comfort zone, I love it. I love it. But if he starts to get an attitude and starts to get upset about it and sulk about it and getting his feelings about it, you know what the next move is. Now, I don't think he should stick with the trainer. You know what I mean? If it's pulling him away from if it's forcing him to be more like the field and be like everybody else, I should stay discontinue that relationship. But if you focus on what actually works and create a signature game revolving around what works for him really, as opposed to what everybody else is doing, I say keep the trainer if he can figure that out. Because it's not hard. It's not hard. The hardest part for an NBA player is to figure out what parts of their game actually work. Sometimes that take guys years because they got to reinvent themselves. He doesn't have to reinvent himself. He's stronger than 90% of the NBA, powerful, athletic, tall enough, reach, can defend, has an IQ, passing ability. Like he has enough to leverage right now. You just have to polish those things off and master those skill sets. Make sure the footwork is cleaner. He only needs two signature moves below the free throw line. The rest of it is easy money. They don't play defense no more anyway. Crash the boards, use your two moves. That's it. Keep it simple. Get on the plane, get off the plane. Matt, work on your two moves. Work on your free throw shooting. We don't need you to be a perimeter shooter anymore. We got guys for that. Play below the free throw line and run the transition. That's it. It's simple. That's an easy workout. And stay healthy. I don't think he has to add anything. These guys have to have all that. They have to have a handle. They got to be able to shoot from three because they can't post up. The reason why we got so many 3-point shooters because they're passive aggressive basketball players. It's an easy way to play for them. They don't want to post up. They don't want to get fouled. They don't want to get hurt. They just want to kind of play basketball and go back to the hotel and call somebody up to hang out with. That's it. This is just something cool. They're treating this like this is, like I said, like it's a McDonald's job. It's something cool for them to do. Stack some paper, set the rest of their life up, have some fun. They kind of want to be basketball players. Kind of. Out of the whole league, it might be 20 players that really want to be ball, that really want to be nice. Everybody else is just trying to get position. They trying to get in position to get paid and keep the paychecks coming. That's the other 400 some odd players. Everybody else is trying to get positioning. There's 20 guys that are really serious about being respected as professional ball players. Everybody else is kind of going through the motion. It's the greatest part-time job in the world. Yeah, I agree. He definitely calmed the tides with that performance. He bought him some time. He definitely bought himself some time. That was the signature performance that we all needed. And I agree, Darko is feeling the pressure. Yeah, Darko got enough to make us a 6 seed. He got enough assets to make us a playoff team. If we're not top 6 in the first 2 months of next season, I don't think he makes it through the season. I think they'll let him go in the middle of the season. Definitely the fastest rebuild. Definitely the fastest rebuild I've ever seen. Now Darko gotta be the icing on the cake. If he can't listen, if listen by Christmas next season, I give him till Christmas, maybe even Thanksgiving. To be honest with you, I give him till Thanksgiving. If we not in position as a 6 seed with a strong 6 seed like presence, he's out of here. Yeah, I gotta stay consistent. I, I gotta be to work. I just wanted to say something before I go to work. I was a little pissed off because how can I not be the motivation and the muse and Matt Bonner is? That's crazy. I don't think we need to make the play in. I don't think the play is important. If we do, that's just that's cool. But I don't think we got to worry about the plan. I think the next season, everybody should come back ready. I think a lot of people are more concerned and excited about what's coming in the draft, where certain guys are going, whether it be Ace or Cooper Flag. Everybody want to see where they're going. I think the season been over once the conversation switched to whatever the podcasters are saying and less about what the basketball is on the court. You know what I mean? They're saying this. They're talking in terms that I've been talking about for years. You know what I mean? They're saying stuff I've been saying for years. The basketball conversation is at an all-time high. You know what I mean? It's more interesting than the game. You can have 24 hours of conversation, but you can only play a game one time. And those games are normally played around the same time, all back to back together. How much are you gonna actually talk about basketball? Because basketball is redundant. It's the same thing. Cut to the basket, pass, rebound, assist, buckets, opportunities, missed up. The conversation is a lot more alluring than the actual game itself. So people aren't worrying about the game. They're more attached to the stories because it's more entertaining. So the season is pretty much over. They just want to hear guys talk about whatever they're talking about. Nobody's really playing. The basketball activity and the actions are like the backdrop and the background music to the conversations now. And it used to be the reverse. So I think everybody's just attached to the conversation. Nobody cares. I don't even think anybody. If the only thing I think people are going to care about is if LeBron wins the championship this year. I think that'll be more of a highlight of the season. But nobody cares. Some of these teams are playing really good basketball. Nobody cares. So we are sneaking through. Like, all right, nobody cares. Milwaukee is playing like shit too. Orlando ran into some tough times. The Pacers ran into some tough times. 76ers, like everybody's ready to call it a season. We in a good space. We in a good space. Everybody wants a reset and a do-over. That's perfect for us. That's perfect for us. I'm with all that. This do-over. We can get a quick do-over. We got what we came for. We got what we came for. We honestly, after we realized we weren't going to be a playoff caliber team, everybody focused on what trade could we make. Are we going to get rid of Bruce? How can we make the team better? We made the team better. We got an all-star scorer. We signed him immediately. I think that's so. It's it for me. I don't. We don't have to achieve anything. Just guys got to stay healthy, and I want to see if Scottie can start becoming a consistent all-star presence on the court because it's a free season right now. You know what I mean? Just stay healthy and just get your weight up. I mean, as far as the seat, like everybody is giving up on those goals they pursued. Of course, it's not over till it's over, but that's if you're really pursuing it like that. I don't think we're putting forth the effort to be a play-in team. You know what I mean? I think we just want guys to go home healthy and get ready for next season. Now, next season is going to be a son of a bitch. He's not going. I don't think as fans we gonna care. We want what we want, and it's going to be we want to be a top 16. Anything less than that, heads got to roll. Heads got to roll, and people are going to be looked at with the side eye. I think the relationship between the fan base and Scottie Barnes is going to become somewhat strained because we're going to look at him like we need production, and he can't be the reason why we're not top six. The weight is on his shoulders, regardless of who we bring in. The weight is on. Listen, the weight is on his shoulders. I agree. You don't hear about any awards. You don't hear about like we didn't really hear about the All Star team. Like we don't even care about the All Star game. They're not even campaigning the All Star game the way they used to. It used to be different. It used to feel different. It used to feel different going into Valentine's Day and the All Star game. It used to feel. There used to be some type of excitement. There's no excitement at all. There's nobody like the MVP conversation isn't as spicy as it used to be. It's somewhat stale. Most improved, like yeah, I think everybody's ready for a reset. But hey, I'm definitely gonna continue to watch Scotty though. I want to see how he reacts to the possibility of having someone who's gonna apply pressure to him. I think that's interesting to me because the podcasters they already picked their guy. They're waiting for Brandon Ingram to have those games, and then watch how they champion and campaign for him. Watch. Watch how they champion and campaign for him. It's gonna be otherworldly from ESPN to the YouTube vloggers. Everybody's gonna campaign for this kid to be the new face of the Raptors. At the least. I'm telling you they're waiting. The algorithm is gonna react to it, and there's something there. I just see it brewing. I see it brewing. I see it brewing. Once he gets back healthy, and it's gonna be like, see, that's what they needed. Patrick Beverly already they got a dog. Like we didn't have no dogs on the team before. Now he's saying we got nah. They already have their choice. They already got their pick. That's a good question. I think in order for Scotty to keep his position, he has to be the best version of Scotty Barnes. Don't play like anybody else in the league. He doesn't need to have he doesn't need to be a volume dribbler or a volume shooter. He has power. He has strength. He has athleticism. He has passing ability. He can score well enough around the basket. Be that. Be a point forward in transition and a power forward in the half court set. That's it. That's it. In transition, be our point forward. And then the half court set, be our athletic power forward. That's it. And be all defensive on defense. Not too many people can do any of those things, let alone all of them. But if he just stays within himself, that's easy for him to do. That's easy for him. Be the best version of Scotty Barnes and let everybody else do what they do. Yeah, he did. He definitely did. Yeah. He definitely stopped the clock with that one. That was smooth. I mean, as far as what? You know what I mean? As far as what? Nobody believes in what? Scotty? I mean, we believe in Scottie, but we can't have Scottie try to be anything more or anything less than Scottie Barnes. Like, I think the fact that people wanted him to be this multi-layered player and he doesn't have to be kind of was a waste of time, because now what we need is the basics. We just need the basics from him, a polished level of the basics, because we got guys that can do the scoring. Now he just needs to be the best version of himself. Dish off assists, grab rebounds, get in transition, apply pressure from, within his game, instead of looking at the field trying to be like everybody else. I think he's going to be fine. We believe in Scottie being Scottie. We don't believe in Scottie trying to be, anything other than that, because then he's out of his comfort zone and it annoys us. But I think Darko is going to have the most pressure, because listen, you got to make sense of all this talent you got. You got to make sense of all this opportunity. I don't understand that question. Is there any historical comp for Scott on the team, in the league? That's it. Play hard, get better. That's it. That's very important. That's very important. And figure out what works for you and just do that. The NBA season is any season in any league is daunting, because life happens, especially now with it being your job. Life is going to happen. So you got to have your job down packed to the point where nothing affects your quality of performance at work, just like for the rest of us. Yes, sir. It's always gonna be tough love. So we we gonna apply pressure to every player that's gonna be here from this point on, because the last group won a championship, and we want to get that second one. There would, yeah, if everybody's able to play, yeah, it would be an upset. If everybody plays, if Brandon Ingram ends up playing, if RJ is playing, if Quickly is playing, if Yak is healthy, and Scotty's playing, if they're all playing together, and Abaji and Grady are coming off the bench with Chris Boucher and Jamal Shed, and it's working like that, yeah, it definitely could be some upsets. We could definitely get out the first round, or you know what I mean, or surprise some people just in the play-in, getting into the playoffs. Yep, yeah. Now people are getting laid off over here too. People are getting, yeah, but it's been weird over here for a while now. For the last few years, it's been weird. Last few years, it's been weird. Last 4 to 5 since the pandemic. Yeah, so it's all about staying healthy for next season. I agree. But yeah, I got to get ready for work. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to chop it up with y'all and have some fun with the Matt Bonner conversation. You know what I mean? Just kill some time and talk to y'all, chop it up. I didn't want to just go to work and then we ain't touch base. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for work. Once I come back from work, I'm gonna be ready for the next game. Depending on what time I get off, I'm gonna touch base with y'all before the game. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.